Welcome to Two Birds, One Stone. New and improved Two Birds, One Stone. Garrett, we've got an announcement. Hit him with the air horn. Exciting stuff. Two Birds, One Stone is now sponsored by the Pigskin Podcast Network, which is in partnership with DraftKings. So big ups to us. We landed a real partnership. The Pigskin Podcast Network reached out to us, asked if we wanted to be the Arizona Cardinal representative for their network. Hell yeah. And they're helping us out with this fancy new layout. We got some cool new softwares to work with, and we're very excited about it. As I said, it's sponsored in part with DraftKings. So here's a DraftKings ad. Garrett, you ready to knock it out?
Let's do it.
All right. The NFL action is in full swing here at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings step-depth same-game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. With payouts bigger than ever, why bet football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you could throw down on stepped-up same-game parlays once per game day, all season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code TPPN, the Pigskin Podcast Network, to get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code TPPN. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Garrett, you got a bet for this weekend lined out? Ready to go?
Sure
Maybe
do.
a same-game parlay? Maybe just a 3-game parlay for the people?
Straight 3-game parlay, money line only. I have Titans, and then I have the Jets, and then I also have this one isn't going to be money line. This is going to be spread. Panthers plus 12.
Titans, Jets, Panthers plus 12. There you go. That's free money for you guys.
Free cash.
Take it or leave it. Garrett was on a hot streak last year. I don't know if you guys remember. How much did you win last year? What'd you finish up?
$600 to $700, I think.
It's not a bad year. I think I lost a couple $100 on the year. So anyway, so that's the deal. We're very excited about it. Hopefully we can give you guys a better show with kind of the new tools and stuff that they're providing us. So pretty exciting stuff. Now to the football game that happened Sunday. The Cardinals won. Colt McCoy strikes again, baby. He's now 3-1 as a Cardinals starter. Kyler missed Sunday's game with a hamstring injury.
Who needs him?
Apparently nobody. I don't know. Colt McCoy. You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Probably not. But Colt looked really good. It all ran smoothly through him. He got the ball out quick. And most importantly, no turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really ask for much better on his end. You always get the one Colt McCoy game a year. Last year, we got 2 of them where he just comes in and plays really well. I feel like this kind of forced Cliff into calling a good game, because if not, they had 0 shot. So Cliff didn't have Kyler to rely on to make great plays. So he actually had a game plan for this, I feel. So yeah, and you kind of get a taste of what Cliff's capable with as well.
Yeah. And I mean, he really did outcoach McVay in a way. I mean, the Rams offensive line, they're also down to their backup quarterback. Their offensive line, and we'll get to it, is god awful, but the Cardinals aren't sitting any better. They've got Pugh out, Hudson out. It's probably a similar matchup in terms of like weaknesses up front. So both head coaches kind of had a game plan around that. And I think, like I said earlier, Cliff did a great job and it wasn't all through bubble screens like it usually is, of just quickly getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands and committing to the run. James Conner had 21 carries in this game. James Conner, I wanted to get to him, 21 carries. I think he had 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played great. And you know what else? He had 96% of the snaps. Coming off an injury, that's a sign that this guy's 100% fully healthy if he's on the field for that majority of the game. It also means Eno Benjamin, I think he was on the field for 1 play. And we'll get to the cutting of Eno Benjamin later on after we recap the game. But other than McCoy and James Conner, you had Rondale Moore continuing his upswing. I think he had 9 catches for 94 yards, and that humongous 4th and 3 catch along the sideline, one hand, defender draped all over him. Honestly, a perfect throw by Colt McCoy. At that point in the game, I think there's about 7 minutes left, and the Cardinals were up only by 1 score. It was 17-10. So that was like a crucial, classic Cliff Kingsbury. All right, nuts on the table. Let's go for it. He's always been aggressive on 4th downs, and I'm pretty sure they have a decent 4th down conversion rate. I bet it's top 10 in the NFL. Probably. I said I bet because I don't know for sure, but he goes for it a lot, and it worked out there. DeAndre Hopkins, 10 catches for 98. Listen to this, 8 catches for 88 yards when matched up against Jalen Ramsey. That is the most catches and the most yards allowed by a cornerback when matched up against one receiver all season long. That's pretty wild.
Hops that motherfucker.
He had a little bit of a down game last week.
Yeah.
But he did have the touchdown. I think he only had 4 catches along with that touchdown, but wasn't targeted heavily. I think he only had 4 or 5 targets. So it's good to see him get back on track. Yeah, so sure. Why did it work this game, Garrett? What's your opinion? Why did it look so drastically different?
I think quarterback, kind of what I said earlier. No, it's not the quarterback. I think kind of what I said earlier, that Cliff actually had to, it felt like this game was just so much, everyone was just so much more prepared in general, not just Colt, not whoever. It just seemed like everyone was on the same page. Also, the lack of pre-snap penalties that helped a bunch. It just seemed like everyone was focused. I don't know if it's because, I'm sure Kyler not playing has something to do with it. It kind of made everyone else kind of tighten up a little bit. Now, if that could just be done while he was playing, then we could really get somewhere. But it really just seemed like everyone was a lot more prepared and, mentally prepared than they have been in previous games.
Right. And the defense played well. We'll get to them in a second. Yes. But like I said, it just seemed a lot like simplified. It's like, this is what we're going to do. Get the ball out of our hands quick, run the football, and we're just going to put our guys against yours, and just let's not do too much screens, guys in motion all over this is our game plan. We're going to stick to it throughout the whole 60 minutes, instead of, you've seen at times in games where Cliff kind of gets frazzled. Like, it seems like he'll abandon the run after the first quarter, and it just turns into Kyler go make a play. Maybe that was part of it. They first off, they were leading the majority of the game, so there wasn't a whole lot of panic time for Cliff, but we're sticking with the plan, and it worked for all 4 quarters.
I think that's kind of the biggest issue with Cliff. He just kind of freaks out, like you said, he abandons the run, relies so much on Kyler. I think you kind of nailed it when you said that.
I mean, you don't have that fallback option either. Like you said with Colt, maybe it's okay, I've got to stay on top of this. Every single play matters. I don't have the luxury of this freak talent back here to save my ass if I goof up. What's his name? Greg Moore, AZ Central Sports. What was the title of his article? No, there is no quarterback controversy in Arizona. Colt McCoy is the guy going forward. Fucking clown, completely 100% headline grab. Let me get as many clicks as possible. Let's start with this. No, there is absolutely no quarterback controversy with the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray just got $1 bazillion. That's for one. And more importantly, he's a better quarterback. That's Colt McCoy's been in the league for 13 years. What is he, 36 years old? There's a reason he's been a backup for this long, a great backup. He's done very well for the Cardinals. Like I said earlier, 3-1, 2 division wins on the road, 3 division wins on the road. He went into San Francisco last year in his first start, beat the Niners, lost to the Panthers the next week, and then went to Seattle and beat the Seahawks, and then go on the road here in LA and got another road division win. That's very impressive stuff. Like, you don't get that a lot from backup quarterbacks. And not only was it a win, but it wasn't like they won in spite of him. He played a very clean game. I think the best way that I've kind of heard it described is there's no question Colt or Kyler Murray is the better quarterback. It just seems at times, due to probably McCoy's experience, he knows how to kind of control and manage an offense better. Does that make sense? Like he's got a little bit of a better grasp.
Controlled. Like he's just so much more under control. He doesn't let small shit rattle him. Like, this is the not so hot take anymore. With Kyler is, how he's so pouty or this or that or blah, 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 whatever. Passionate, better word. You don't really see that ever. He just seems pretty even keel, which I think is a lot bigger deal than what people make it out to be. It's because, whenever you're playing that kind of position, it's every single play is different. You can't start a new play thinking about the last one where something fucked up or somebody, ran a wrong route or whatever. And I think that why he just looks more calm and collected on the field. And that comes with him being in the league for 12 or 13 years and being 36 years old.
Colt McCoy's seen a lot of football.
That's the only way you get that. Yeah,
he's seen a shit ton of football, and he's played in humongous games. People forget how good fucking Colt McCoy was in college. National championship at Texas. I think he went to another and lost, but those teams were great. He was playing in huge games all the time. He's not going to be flabbergasted by a Week 10 game on the road. Like he's just, like you said, cool, calm, collected. I think part of the deal with Kyler is that there's not a whole lot of accountability. And I hope that Colt McCoy maybe coming in and playing 2 games and winning both of those games kind of lights a fire under his ass a little bit. Yeah. Like, okay, there's another guy in here that is capable of getting wins as well. Obviously, he's not really a threat to steal my job. But if Colt goes out there and wins 2 straight and then I come in and we lose 2 straight, it's like, it's just the headache of having to hear all that noise. If you're Kyler, you've heard enough of that for the past year and a half, and maybe it's just a motivator for him to be like, okay, maybe I do need to listen a little more to guys in the quarterback room in position meetings. Maybe Cliff does know what he's talking about. Maybe when there's a stressful situation on a national televised game, I don't need to rip his ass in front of everybody. Maybe it's a little bit of a partnership and not just him holding me back. I just want to see a little bit of these kind of things cleaned up because nobody's wanting. I don't want to send Kyler off. I'm not ready for that. Like he's really not even having a bad year. He's just regressed from where he was at. So I think it's very important for him to start kind of being held accountable a little bit. Watching film this week, like, hey, like, is he going to pay attention when a coach points out on film, like, hey, do you see here what Colt did here in this situation on 3rd down? He looks off this guy and he takes his second read and he goes, or is he just going to fucking roll his eyes and be like, okay, I'm fucking Kyler Murray. That's Colt McCoy. Like, is he going to listen when he's got people in his ear trying to coach him up? Time will tell. But
that's kind of my thoughts on that. This season has hurt my view on him so much as far as that kind of stuff goes. I feel like Cliff is so damn scared of him because he's his meal ticket. So
tied at the hip.
Right. Like you can't they're going to go together no matter what. And Kyler's going to outrank Cliff every single day of the week when it comes to front office or whatever, just because they're so financially tied to him. But it's just the video last week or on Hard Knocks went viral about D-Hop getting on his ass and saying, what the fuck what are you looking at? D-Hop can do that, but there's not really many other guys there that can.
I wonder how many times that's happened.
I mean, in even whenever he did it, because I overanalyzed the fuck out of that video, it just seemed like it was like something that like nobody does, and it seemed like super brand new. Not only just looking at D-Hop, but everyone else around. I don't know, but you're gonna, and this is all from the outside looking in. It's someone's gonna have to check him, and I feel he holds himself up here when in reality he's playing here. And I think you saying now you have another guy who Kyler thinks of down here who actually is probably, sort of kind of close to him in comparison. Hopefully that sparks some kind of fire that, hey, you are replaceable. This is the NFL. Just because we gave you a shitload of money doesn't mean, you're not replaceable, which actually kind of does in a way. But
yeah, I mean, he really isn't, but I understand the point that you're saying. Like I said, it's just,
that's my
I just wonder
worry,
if it's,
really.
my biggest worry is it's probably too late. This is his 4th year in the NFL. If nobody's checked him by now, he's got it in his head. He's the fucking guy, no matter what. He knows that, yeah, Cliff and Kyler are tied at the hip, but he knows he's not the one going anywhere. If Kyler goes, Cliff will too. If Cliff goes, Kyler won't. Like, it's not like they're married in that way. It's just, it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. And it can all be fixed if he comes back and he just plays his dick off and looks like early 2021 Kyler MVP form. Like, and that could absolutely happen. He has that high of a ceiling. He is that capable. We've already seen it. This is the leading favorite to win MVP halfway through the season last year. So
I think if Bruce Arians was his coach right now, he would have an MVP.
I would fucking have loved to see that.
He would have an MVP.
I would love to see that, but we never will. But yeah, that's Kyler talk. Kind of summing that up. Obviously, we both are firmly in the camp that Kyler Murray's job is not in jeopardy. But I mean, I'm also sitting here be like, if it's Colt McCoy next Monday night against the Niners, I'm not freaking out. Like, I mean, I would obviously prefer Kyler to play, but I mean, it looked good. It looked good with him on the field, and who knows? Maybe he can win another 2 games for us like he did last year. Moving on to the defense, Najee Sanders. There's a bunch of young guys on the defense that are playing with a lot of juice. Like, my big rant after the Chiefs game was, you've got all this draft capital that you're spending on these young players, Rondale Moore on offense, Andy Isabella, Zayvon Collins, and you weren't seeing results. Like, these guys weren't on the field. Najee Sanders wasn't even dressed out the first couple of weeks. Trey McBride, no snaps. Najee Sanders is now, Devin Kennard is gone. Najee Sanders is getting a lot of playing time, 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He had a sack, a pass defense. Isaiah Simmons has been playing his ass off, consistently making plays along with Zayvon Collins since the last time that we've recorded. Zayvon had 7 tackles, tackle for loss, and a pass defended as well. Zach Allen keeps doing his thing. He has a sack. J.J. Watt has a sack. Budda Baker makes a big interception at the end of the game to end it. The defense played outstanding, and I think we need a special shout out to Budda Baker. At the end of the last week's game, it looked terrible. We didn't high ankle sprain at least a missed month. Who knows if something's broken? We don't know. He fucking plays the next week, and not only plays, but he's making impact plays. It's just a testament to he is the heart and soul of the whole franchise. And not to bring Kyler back up again, that's a free safety playing on a high ankle sprain, running sideline to sideline, covering the whole field. And quarterback's got a tweak in the hamstring and he can't stand in the pocket. That part kind of bugs me, but I don't know how bad it is. I'm not in the fucking locker room. I'm not on the medical staff. So that's a different story. But Budda's the fucking man. And they've got a bunch of cylinders firing right now on that defense with some of those young guys. There's still going to be mistakes. There's going to be weird offsides and things like that. But this is what I'm talking about. You've got these foundational young players that are getting playing time and getting better. And that's how teams improve along the years.
Yeah, I agree. Well, what kind of shocks me is we're still terrible against the run. We're still bottom. I looked it up the other day. This was like a week ago. We're still like the 28th ranked rushing or defense rushing against the run. But
I think they played well the Rams have a terrible line. Like I said, they held them to 66 yards on 20 attempts on Sunday and a touchdown. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
they looked good against, even if with a healthy Stafford, a healthy O-line. This isn't a team that runs the ball 30 times in a game. Like, that's not the Rams' MO. So I it's not a great example, but they did play well on Sunday.
But you definitely have to see your younger guys pick it up. Zach Allen, who isn't really younger at this point anymore, but he's the guy who everyone's kind of been talking about for the past couple of years as far as the capability he has. You're kind of seeing that. I feel like JJ Watt being kind of there alongside him helps like this boosted his growth a lot this year. You've seen a big step. Byron Murphy also, we didn't mention him, but you're not really hearing much about him.
Sunday, but
well, I mean, just because we haven't talked, in the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
You're not hearing much about him, which is a good thing if you're a corner. That means he's doing his job. So
he's been absolutely dominant against some of the
Yeah.
very best receivers. And I won't have the stats in front of me now, but Justin Jefferson was kind of locked down.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams had like 2 catches for like 8 yards in a like locked down. Byron Murphy's played great. And that's what you need out of, as I've said, an early draft round.
You need an
pick.
all-pro cornerback. For every defense needs a lockdown D-back and a top 10 pass rusher. And I think we have that. So, in a way.
We're getting there. We're running out. The defense really hasn't been the problem all year. Like I said, they've made plays. And the biggest fault is that they've just been on the field too long in some games. Antonio Hamilton, shout out. He had led the team with 11 tackles and 2 pass defense. So corner on the other side of the ball, stepping up while Byron's out. But yeah, we touched on the Rams a little bit. I think they're absolutely cooked. I don't know what your opinion is. Kupp is now on IR. Looked like he avoided a ankle break. It was a high ankle sprain that required surgery, so they placed him on IR today. Like I said, their O-line is completely fucked. Stafford's out. He'll probably be back next week. I would imagine that's kind of how it rolls with the concussion protocol. But it finally seems like that. Fuck them picks. Fuck that money. I'll pay those 4 guys at the top of my roster, half of my salary, and then just patchwork the bottom. It's catching up because they have no depth anywhere along that offensive line, defensive front. You got Aaron Donald there in the middle, and you got Jalen Ramsey over here. Bobby Wagner, I guess they paid a bunch in the middle, but there's just not enough other foundational guys that they've got to build on through the draft. Like they're getting rid of all these picks, and there's no young talent on that side of the ball. And I feel like it's finally caught up, and it's fucking glorious to see. It's beautiful. The Rams are 3-6 and their defense of the Lombardi Trophy this season. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think Stafford kind of lost whatever kind of edge he had, whatever kind of fire he had.
People forget he led the league in interceptions last year.
Right. And I think that, all the years of losing and everything that he carried over from Detroit, he got a Super Bowl. I just kind of feel like he's lost. He's living in LA. He has a hot wife. He's just chilling, and he doesn't really care. So I feel like there's no kind of edge anymore. So it doesn't really surprise me that he's stepped back. And then with Kupp being out, I mean, who else is is Van Jefferson still on the Rams?
Van Jefferson's still there. His only snaps of that game came when Kupp came out at the end.
Who else is on the team?
Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Ben Skoranek. That guy.
Sure.
I mean, they've got a couple guys,
but they're fucked regardless because they don't have any picks, like you said. And that's whenever they were in the process of trade away your picks for good players or this or that. In my mind, I was like, that kind of makes sense because you got to think of the percentage that you hit on your draft picks. As
for sure.
Looking at Steve Keim, I can trade a first round pick for whoever, and I mean, why not get a guy who we know is going to be. The way I think of it as like in Madden, whenever you draft a guy, like the highest overall, unless they're like a quarterback and it's like not a simmed class, the highest overall you're going to get is probably like an 82 or 3. If you could trade your first round pick and get somebody that's like a 87, why not just do that? Because you know that they're going to be that, and you don't even know you're going to get an 83. So
sure,
it makes sense, but you can see the
you can't do it for your next 4 drafts. Get rid of every first round pick and second round pick. That's where it comes to bite you in the ass. Yeah. If you need that one fucking position and you're sitting there, I'm a cornerback away from winning a Super Bowl. Here's 2 first round picks for Jalen Ramsey. Guess what? It worked. But you also traded however many picks to get Von Miller, who walked, and then you trade Matthew Stafford, however much it was to I would honestly, I would have done the same thing. I would trade 4 fucking 2-win seasons in a row for one Super Bowl season. Absolutely. I think we'd all take that. So the Rams aren't regretting anything that they did. Absolutely not. They've got a fucking Super Bowl ring on their finger, but it's just the consequences.
How many losing seasons in a row would you trade for one Super Bowl?
10 at least. The numbers. I mean, really? We don't have one now, and we've had 10 probably in a row naturally.
I think it'd be more. I think I would do more than if I knew I was going to get one at the end of it or something or whatever. Yeah, I could probably do
20 is probably a lot.
2 to 3 seasons of straight losing of straight losses.
Not 7 and 9, not 2 and 15.
Yeah, that's what I could probably do. 2 seasons would probably be my max. But I mean, you get a Super Bowl.
I would do more. We've sat through really bad seasons and we still have no Super Bowl.
With no guarantee.
I think 10 is a decent number. I would. All right, I got my one, whatever. But 10 I don't seasons? Know. That's a long 10 seasons. That's a long time. But we've watched a cumulative of at least 10 bad seasons, and we don't have a Super Bowl ring. So not in a row, but still. All right, pulse check for the Cardinals right now. 4-6 after the win on Sunday. We've got Niners in Mexico, Chargers, and then our bye. If you beat the Niners on Monday night, you're sitting at 5-6. And the rest of the bottom of the NFC wildcard picture is as follows. Niners at 5-4, Packers are 4-6, Commanders 5-5, Falcons 4-6. You can catch up. You can catch up. You're absolutely in the mix with a win. And we've beaten the Niners in the past. And did we sweep them last year? I don't know. I don't know if we swept them, but I know we beat them once. The Chargers aren't great. They just lost to the Niners. I mean, if you were to get to 6-6 before the bye, from where we were at 3-6, that would be ginormous for the odds heading down the stretch. And maybe after the bye, everybody heals up. Maybe you do get Rodney Hudson back, who just disappeared in thin air. Maybe you get Pugh back. Who knows? Maybe you get somebody. Marquise Brown will be coming back. Speaking of Marquise Brown, he's set to come off IR this week. Cliff says he's getting close, but he does not expect him to play probably this week. Fucking Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore. That's pretty scary.
Shout out Zach Ertz, what was it? A season-ending knee injury on Sunday. That hurts in more ways than one because that is my fantasy tight end as well. But yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah. You could see it on his face as he was getting carted off. Yeah. You knew it was bad.
Bright side, you always have to look for the bright side. Trey McBride, what are you? That's what we get out of it.
We're gonna find out.
We finna fuck around and find out.
So that will be fun to finally kind of see him. He was getting a few more snaps here the last couple games, but let's see. I saw a tweet. Trey McBride on Sunday played 62 of 68 snaps, 32 on the line, 21 in the slot, 7 out wide, 2 in the backfield. He ran 32 routes on 40 McCoy drop backs. That's pretty good percentage. He only had 1 target, 1 catch for 7 yards. But he's out there. So it'll be interesting to see with a full week of practice if he's like the dude, like is he stepping in and taking all those routes that Ertz was running? Is he going to step in flawlessly, or are you still going to see a mix of Steven Anderson and whoever the fuck else they can pull up from the practice squad?
The bit I've seen from him, I've been impressed with. He looks physical. He looks tough. He looks cool. So yeah, I guess we'll just find out. Fuck around and find out. Oh
yeah. So I think we're going to conclude and say that we have a very weak pulse right now, and it'll take a miracle, but
60 over 115.
I'm not a medical doctor. I have no clue.
Either. I'm a guess. Medical doctors watching. Get in the comments. Tell me if that's good.
Oh shit. But we're alive. Let's win a couple more games and then we'll talk. Why did we cut Eno Benjamin? We mentioned it earlier. The Cardinals cut Eno Benjamin on Tuesday. He was claimed off waivers on Monday. He was cut on Monday, claimed off waivers today, Tuesday, by the Texans. So he'll go and I guess back up Damian Pierce, give a little change of pace down there. Sucks for Eno. Kind of would like to see him go to a contending team. But listen, we're not Arizona State people either. We're from Missouri. Like,
that's very true.
My whole timeline is the poverty franchise. This is why we're at bottom feeder, like blah, blah, blah. Get the Sun Devil bias out of your head, guys. Eno was a very competent number 2 back, played decently well whenever Connor was out. It's a 7th round pick, guys.
Like, don't undersell him. He played well. He played good.
Okay, look, go pull up his stats against the Saints.
Stats
go,
guy.
Go
it's
pull
the eye test. It's a fucking eye test. It's
he's
eye
an
test.
Average NFL running back. Nothing more, nothing less. Like, to say that, oh my God. Here's the deal. Maybe he did not handle his new role. Maybe when they pulled him, the rumor is they told him on Saturday he was getting a smaller role. Connor's fully healthy. He's the guy we're paying the money. He's going to get the snaps. And he didn't like that, and they cut him. We don't know any more details. We don't know if Eno overreacted, had a tantrum, and they're like, whoa, that's unprofessional as fuck. We'll let you go. You can go somewhere. Who knows? We have no idea what the story is. Hopefully we see in Hard Knocks. We'll see what happens. But I don't think there was anything crazy about the move. I mean, I know maybe they just love what they have in Keontae Ingram. I don't know. I loved Eno, but I don't have this deep-seated love in my heart because he played for my college team. It's just, it is what it is. It's fucking football. 7th round running back, average running back. Like I said, nothing more, nothing less. Good player, but it doesn't at all impact our chances of winning games this season. I don't think. That's my opinion.
He was tough. He ran the ball hard.
Fan favorite. I loved watching him. He was good. I mean, he had some good moments, but it is what it is. So yeah, I've talked about it a little bit. Niners on Monday night. Prime time, baby. That's fun. That's our bugaboo. But who knows? We got that off our backs when we beat the Saints on Thursday Night Football. So maybe that'll continue. I don't think we'll recap the other games. We'll probably just save that for next Sunday.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Before we sign off, Garrett, one thing that stuck out to you the most on Hard Knocks.
A lot of Buda Baker, which I was not complaining about. He seems like a sweetheart.
Sweethearts.
I think Kyler looks fat now. Looks like he's gained weight
to him.
Yeah, I don't really like his
look. Thick, boy.
I don't like his face. I like his afro better than the dread thing. Yeah, he looks sort of fat, but it's bulk season. What else did I like about it? I don't know. I mean, Cliff's. I hate his lion painting. I think that's try hard as fuck.
Was pretty try hard
because he says he's a Leo because the whatever astrology bullshit. Yeah. I just wasn't a fan of the lion poster, but it makes me not hate Cliff as much.
He did come out looking pretty good.
He just kind of seems like he's like a chill guy, which I know the Cardinals have a heavy influence on the final cut of that. So I'm sure they weren't going to let anything else but that slide. True. But he looked.
They didn't have a problem making Kyler look bad.
Yeah, I don't really know if I'd say he looked bad.
The narrator was like having the narrator said like their quarterback after getting paid, having a bad seat, like the way the wording on some of it was kind of odd, like you said, with the Cardinals having the final say. But to me, it's like all the like it. I said it in a tweet. Watching Hard Knocks is just going to make me even more disappointed. I'm going to get a better look at the shit show. It's only going to piss me off more. And that's kind of what happened. You saw all week. And it makes you kind of give perspective because everybody's like, fire the coaching staff, fire Cliff. Everybody sucks. You look at the fucking tape. They're talking all week. Self-inflicted penalties. They're fucking us. We got to get this shit fixed. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. Like boom, 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 boom. There's a specific spot where there's a timeout at the end of the Seahawks game. We got a 1 possession deficit. If we stop Seattle, get the ball back, we got a shot. The first play going in, Vance Jones was like, watch the bootleg here. Like, we've been working on it all week. Like, watch that. There's a good chance this is coming. First play, bootleg, Noah Fant, 60 yards. And Vance Jones is just like, what the fuck is going? I just said, watch it. Like it gives you perspective. Because if you're sitting on your couch at home, like, what the fuck? What kind of call was that, Joseph? Like, blah, blah. Sometimes it's not what you think it is. Sometimes we love to blame the coaches because we've got more of a connection to these players sometimes they fuck up, guys. It's a two-way street for sure. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I
like I said,
it was, I was able to kind of disassociate from it, disassociate the Hard Knocks from the team and like from like the actual season that's going on. I watched it more as like a reality show. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It didn't really make me upset or make me feel any kind of way as far as this current season we're in.
Just frustrating.
I don't know, say Cliff's poster sucks. Kyler looks fat. That's about all I took away.
Good recap. You can bet your bottom dollar JJ's going to get a feature at some point. He'll probably be a whole episode.
Also, when he was like meditating outside while it was
in the
raining,
rain.
I was kind of hey
JJ,
go fuck inside. It's raining.
There's one thing about JJ. He's a showman. He knows when he's on film and he puts on a show.
Sure
and he's a damn good football player too, ladies and gents. So, all right, I think that's it. Once again, thank you to the Pigskin Podcast Network. Thank you to DraftKings. Thank you for listening to the whole episode. Tell a friend, spread the word, like, subscribe, download, all that shit. Garrett, any final words?
Let's get ready for next week. Beat Niners. Hashtag what is it? Buck the Finers. Is that right?
Viva la Mexico.
Sure.
Not
Spanish. But
that is Spanish, ain't it? All right,
what is it? Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Go Birds.